My name is Joakim Gustafsson. I work as a chief designer for Nimbus Group, and I will talk a little about the new 465. Nimbus has a long history of developing coupe cruisers from sizes between 25 and 40 feet. So all around the world we have a lot of customers who really love the coupe concept, and that is living on a boat which is quite compact, but you have a lot of comfort, a lot of functionality, and they are safe. So many of these customers now they want a bigger boat. So a big wish was to create a new coupe cruiser, but much bigger than the one we have today. That has been a challenge, because we have never built such a big boat before in the Nimbus brand. And you can see that it's slightly different from our coupe series. So that was the intention, that this boat should be perceived as a small yacht. So how do you start that process? First of all, we didn't want to compromise with the core values of comfort and safety that we need to have with us, and to have a good seaworthiness, it's important to keep the center of gravity low. So that was also important, and to have a lot of comfort in the boat, but also safety. We have chosen since many years back to have a side deck, a deep side deck, wide and deep side deck. So that gives a lot of comfort when you move around in the boat. So that was also important ingredients to bring into the new 465. Other than that, the saloon is really important for the coupe. It should be airy and light, and you get that by having a lot of side windows that you can see through from while you're sitting or standing, and also a roof hatch with light gives the roominess to the coupe. The thing with the coupe cruisers that we have today is that you can manage to maneuver the boat yourself or as a couple. So this was also important for this boat, that we should make a design that makes it possible for a single-handed or a couple to handle the boat. Also important for the concept is that the comfort for the passengers, which means that you can always be facing forward while driving the boat. It's in all coupe, and it was the same for this 465. The kitchen is in the saloon, also very important that you can socialize while cooking. It's not hidden underneath the deck, it's part of the daily life. When we did the 465, it was that we wanted to maximize the coupe feeling. So for example, for the passenger seat, we did that more than before, a better passenger seat. It's an area of the boat that we have prioritized a lot. Then also the kitchen we made bigger. It's separate in two parts, on the port side and the starboard side, which makes it possible to work two persons in the kitchen in an easy way. And the used sofa that's in the saloon, it's also raised up, so you can have a good view through the side windows. So we start in the very back of the boat. So we have a gangway, a retractable gangway. There's also a big bathing platform, which is adjustable in height, so you can lower it down. There is space for a dinghy or a tender. So we have put a lot of functions into this area. So you have storage for wet stuff. You can add a wet bar in this area, foldable wet bar. You also have a small sofa you can sit on, having your morning coffee. And underneath that hatch there is storage for fenders and ropes. So that can also be used as a step going on the port side. So if we move forward in the boat, you have on the starboard side and also on the port side, you have this cleat and a winch, and they are hidden underneath a hatch. And that is to make when you're in port, it's nice to have the ropes away, so it's nice and clean while in port. So moving forward in the boat, we have the side deck. So on the starboard side, we have a side deck that is wide and deep. And this is a really important part of the coupé concept. But for the 465, we have added even more practical features to improve safety and comfort on the boat. So we also now have a hull door. And this hull door, you can, of course, makes it easier to step on board. And then you have the really wide side door to the saloon. And this is extra wide. And that, of course, helps to give some space and air to the saloon. But it's also practical because you can actually have a passage with two people in that space. If we move forward, you come to the foredeck, and the foredeck is a multifunctional area. You have a lot of functionality in this area. First of all, you have the sunbed, and the sunbed you have you can lift up. You can have a backrest on the sunbed, but it's also U-shaped, and that makes it possible to sit around a table and having breakfast or a cup of coffee. And this area on the deck, it also gives a lot of space for your feet. When you do the mooring, you can stand in a safe and good way to work when you do the mooring. And also on the foredeck, on the 465, it's a little bit special because in Scandinavia we use the boats a lot, and when we're entering islands and so we do it with the bow. So it's the pulpit is open, and in between you can add this ladder. You can fold out a ladder between the pulpits in the front. So this whole area, you can also add a sunshade. You have really good storage also in the front of the boat, where you can store fenders or ropes. It's a big boat, so it's a long way all the way back. Apart from this area in the foredeck, you have, of course, also the aft deck. And the aft deck it's a huge L sofa, really long L sofa. So if you fold out the table and add 2 extra chairs, you can sit your whole family and all of your friends. It's a really big dinner table. And if you fold down the table, you can use this area also for sunbathing and relaxing. And apart from this two, we also have a third area. So it's on the flybridge. So if we move up to the flybridge, you have 2 seats facing forward, so you can, as a couple, enjoy the traveling together. But you also have a sunbed area and a sofa area. And in this sofa area, we have added a special table, and it's a table which has a built-in wet bar. So you have the foredeck, and you have the aft deck, and you have the flybridge, and you can use them in various ways, depending on your situation and so on. The aft deck on the 465 is actually a little bit special, I should say, because we have a new feature that we never had before, and it's a huge window in the back. And this window is retractable. You can put it away up in the roof. If you, for example, you put the window down and you add the canopy on the side, you're fully sheltered. But you can also just open up the window a little bit to get some fresh air in. We have sunshades built in. This extra window allows the saloon to be all the way back to this rear window, which makes it seamless between outside and inside. Between outside and inside, you have the door and the window section. Between the kitchen and the aft deck, you can totally move away. So it's an electric window. You slice down and you open the side door. You can take out the extra table, kitchen bar, and use that as a surface for serving dinner and so on. So this whole setup with the aft deck it's something that we never done before because of that extra window in the very end. The kitchen in the coupe concept is really, really important. It's a central of the boat, and the kitchen in the 465 is extra big. We have two sections with the starboard side and the port side, which makes it possible for two persons to work in the kitchen without interfering each other. So the kitchen has everything you can wish for: wash-up machine and oven and freezer and everything. So that's a really well-equipped kitchen. Moving further into the salon, we have a U sofa, and it's a sofa that we made like a sofa you have back home, more like a lounge sofa. Opposite the U sofa, you have a seating area. You can just lie down and read a book. You can pull away a stool from that area, and you can put that together with the U sofa, and then you have a really good setup for dinner in this area. And the sofa is made with loose pillows, you can say, so it's a really cozy seating area. Also, you could say that it's a TV hidden underneath that is electric coming up from behind the canopy area. Really important in the coupe concept is the feeling of the salon, that it's light and airy, and if you have a lot of windows, roof windows, that helps, but also the visibility through the side windows. And in the 465 we have higher the area, sofa area, so it's a nice feeling. You can see through the side windows in a good way. Moving to the port side of the salon in the front, you have the passenger seats, which is like kind of like an L. You can lie down actually, and this is something that we think adds something special to the layout of the 465. So the passenger is equally important as the captain while driving the boat. So it's a really nice cozy area facing forward in the salon here. There's also possible to watch a small display where you're going. You can have the chart plotter information also on for the passengers. So altogether, the salon in the 465 is a lot about making it nice and comfortable for all people on board. And I especially like the L sofa for the passengers. You have this really nice light roof window, and you sit good visibility all over. So should we go down to the cabins? We start with the owner's cabin, which is in the back, the aft cabin. This big hull windows, so make this room really light and nice to stay in. You have cupboards, you have a lot of storage. For this owner's cabin, you also have a separate toilet and shower. Moving to the mid cabin, there we have optional. You can have a double bed, or you can actually have this room as a utility room, or depending on how you would like to use the boat. In the VIP cabin, it's in the front, and it's also has big hull windows to make the cabin really light and nice to stay in. In addition to that, they have these two cabins have their own toilet and shower. Yeah, maybe I should describe the thinking behind the helm station. So first of all, it's possible to stand up while driving, and that's very practical and safe while driving the boat, especially when you're mooring. So you have the dashboard, and you can see you have the joystick really close to the wheel. That is a central part of the whole setup with the dashboard. This is possible to reach from outside. You're standing half in, half out. You can reach the joystick to do the mooring. And the dashboard is quite compact. You have AC built in the dashboard. You have possibility to have double screen. You have a position when you're sitting, which is similar to a car. You have a lot of space for your feet. You can sit really comfortable while driving this boat. So apart from that, it's really good visibility from the helm station. Okay, since we use the Volvo IPS, we have the possibility to really have good maneuverability. So for the 465 you can also add the assistant docking system, which makes the docking really simple. Yeah, the boat is under construction right now. It will be, the first sea trials will be during January 2024.
Switch your microphones on. We have a picture. Here we go. Hallo, herzlich willkommen hier auf der Boot 2024. Wir machen jetzt einen Livestream über die Nimbus 465 und ich freue mich riesig, dass ihr zwei wieder dabei seid. Ich starte gerade in Deutsch and then I'm going to switch now in English. That Joachim and Jonas are with me here today again. We have been sitting more or less 1 year ago in the same setup here in the media container on boat 23, and we have been discussing a lot about the, at this point, future project 465. So first of all, very welcome, Joachim. It was always a pleasure to having you here. Everybody, I think, knows more than probably 1 year ago who you are, what you do, because we also just been showing the video in advance of this live stream about your view on the project. So you have been doing something similar, which what I did when I was up in December last year in Göteborg. So again, we were sitting here, we were talking about the future project. We especially were really happy about a dream coming through, because what Joachim is doing, Joachim and his team mainly for sure, Joachim is leading, is a dream boat for both of us. Absolutely, it's loads of genes in that boat, what we dream of to go boating with at some point. Hopefully we can. And then with this virtual tour, which was quite a, like 1.5 hours, one take.
That was really long.
This was, yeah, in every detail we went through the boat, which in fact helped us to sell 2 boats from the drawing. So the boat was not existing and people trusted Boote Polch, but mainly for sure you as a manufacturer, because you know I can just guide the customer at this point, but what in the end will be produced or will be there is out of your head, out of your team's head, then at some point into a product. And then the most exciting for me was in November this year. I was one of probably the first one external allowed to come into the Mariestad factory, and I've seen the boat still at this point undecked, but I could have really, you know, furniture was in. Undecked means that at the middle, normally at the rubber list, that this boat is a little bit differently designed, but at the rubber list level there's an upper deck part and a lower deck part, and at some point they are put together, then it's going to be a complete boat. Before it's a boat more or less in two pieces, and this was then in November. And then in December I went there again with the 2 customers who had put down an order for each a 465, and then I saw it first time in real, and since then it went very fast, because I got always thankful from you some pictures from the process. So it's not by far a project at all anymore. It's a boat since 2 months, and it soon will be a ready boat, which we will gonna see then for sure loads of pictures, videos, and details. But I want to sneak some pictures with you today, which has not been shown before. They are mobile phone WhatsApp level status, because you sent them to me, and I just drained you now in here and wanted to discuss a little bit about this. Maybe, Michael, we can just do the drone fly just as a small video to show in which status the boat is. This is like in December, and then we have even pictures where it's even further, where we are flying now from the front over the starboard side. So we're going along the starboard side now. So this blue thing is a ramp, because the boat is on like a platform, because the boat is so high. And interesting, you are entering the boat, you work very often where hopefully your customer will enter the boat as well, from the side door.
Yes.
So which helped you to control the traffic, very funny to see. So you have like 2 entrances in the boat you use constantly on working on the boat, the side door and the door in the side walk, as well as the typical entrance from the back as well. At this point the bathing platform was not mounted yet, but you're going to see it in the pictures. This is also already installed at the moment now. You're going to see the silhouette there from the port side. Flybridge screen partly in place, and the foredeck. But at this point the railing was not on, which and also not this how you say the below the railing
it's the rail.
Okay,
wooden rail.
The wooden rail below, which gives it a certain design difference. So maybe you want to, sorry, I've been now talking a lot. Anything you want to put out about the project so far? It has been a long way for you, I would say. It's the biggest project you've ever done. Your team.
For sure. For sure. Well, it's always when you're in the computer world, you have a lot of help now with you walking in 3D environment. It's really nice, but you can never compare it to real life. So it's always a scary thing when it's there for real, because you have seen this so many times in the computer. You've done these decisions, you made this and this and this, but it's when it's out there in the real that you really see if it's good or if
also
it's
when
bad.
it comes to room height, feeling, because it's not always that you can take the maximum height. Sometimes it's also less height, it's more coziness and so on. So it's like it's a puzzle which has so many elements. It's like a 4D 5D puzzle you're putting together there, which is
and you must say it's a really complex product. There are so many things going into the hull. It's unbelievable, and the bigger the boat is, the more it is. It's like you can't imagine how many things there are. So it is interesting to see the guys building this step by step by step by step. So it's a joy. It's a joy. But it's also hard work.
Both couples who have been deciding for that boat on a project level, it was very releasing. For me, there was 2 releases for myself. So the first visit, it was my personal release, as the boat was as I sold it, which sounds quite weird, but it was a big pressure because at a certain point we know each other quite long, so I know a little bit what you do and what direction you had. So I was selling something which I believed is going to be that way, underlined with design, with photos, with the virtual walkthrough we did, but still I didn't know if you will achieve what you told me and I guessed is going to be. So when I was first there, it was a very big relief for myself that this was already ticked off. That was but only in fact it was halfway, but in the end it was, you know, just 10%, because in the end the customers needs to like it, or to love it. And then the next, but for you it was already a bigger part. For you, for you 50%, because we are a strong dealer. We are, I would say, I had also Johannes with me, one of my most experienced mechanics. So I think, and then Jonas with your experience. So from your side it was halfway, but for me it was just 10% in the end, because then when the customers joined me, and they were, and they're coming tomorrow again. Yeah, they've been on Saturday on the boat show already. So they were absolutely amazed about everything, you know, the whole feeling on board and so on. It was also absolutely on their expectations, and they are using a Sturbro 410, which is a boat has been in the Nimbus group some years ago. So they're having this amazing trawler style commander boat. They had it for 20 years, and they really know what they had there. And then to see, and they've been looking around since a long time, and to tick this, that this new boat is fulfilling their expectations as well, is for me as a salesperson, and by heart fully Nimbus person, is like ticking off and the highest emotional situation I can imagine. That day in Mariestad, you know, I got home and I got to the bed and was like, you know,
you told me that, Joachim, it's good, it's good. It is good, thank you, it's good.
It's a sandwiched situation, which I put myself in there, which you helped me to come out of that sandwich well. So there's nothing else to say. But Jonas, you have been many times on that boat also now, like like coming there with other customers from different countries.
Yes,
which,
indeed.
I for sure was not attending. So which nationalities did you have on board already?
We had Norwegians on board, and we had a Swedish guy on board, a Swedish team on board as well. And then I've showed the boat for so many people, but in virtual as well. But myself, I've been up in the factory. I've been really following this project from day one, together with Joachim and his team, on the level of course, great business interest, but of course also much personal interest. So I've been in the factory now every week to just checking the concept, how it's coming to a real product. Moving up to the flybridge, standing there, holding the steering wheel, and get a feeling of everything. So it's a fantastic product, and I so much longing to have that on the sea now.
And you are with Nimbus since how long? So you're
long
all
time.
your life?
All my life. No, 30 years actually.
30 years.
This year, 30 years.
This year, 30 years. Okay.
It is. So
and you have owned yourself quite many Nimbuses as well. Even a boat, I would say, in the a long time ago, it was the queen of the brand, like the Nimbus 4000 Charisma or 4004 Charisma, which was that probably, if you put a scale of this age, of this time, it was probably as big boats, probably even a bigger boat at this time than a 465 is today, because all the boats got so much bigger.
Correct. I mean, has been a fantastic journey with all the different. I've had so many different Nimbuses, and there's always a couple of them that goes directly to your heart. But the Charisma was typically a boat like that. And I'm sure if I can ever afford a 465, that would be my dream boat to retire in.
Maybe we both can at some point borrow a customer's boat.
Yeah, for sure.
That's probably the first step.
Yeah, I guess
we get into boating with the 465.
Yes. Yeah.
My phone went off. Can you just check if I'm still sharing with my phone now?
No.
Okay. The 465, when will it hit the first time the water? What is because you have some obstacles there at the moment.
We have some difficulties now, right? It's because of the cold weather and the ice. So there will be some more weeks. It will be in the factory to finalize things on the boat. So we hope that we will have a sea trial within 2 months, I would say.
In 2 months, okay.
But it's actually depending on the ice situation. So
I'm more optimistic than that.
Okay.
Is jetzt wieder da?
We'll see.
Well, let's see.
What was, you would say, the most positive surprises you had on the boat, which you were a little bit, not afraid, let's say, you were the most interested if these ideas work out?
Yeah, it's a passenger sofa, that area, that L, because that was really tricky. The ergonomics, how do you walk into the aft cabin, and that was crucial to get it right. So, and I think we get it right. It's a nice area to sit in, and it brings a new dimension to the saloon because of that sofa.
Just checking if I have a picture of that.
That was a relief that it worked, and it worked both to step into the aft cabin.
We can just share that my phone. It's a picture now. So this is, it's mobile phone pictures, but it still gives the feeling. So this is in fact the salon with the cushions lying there.
Yes.
This is more or less the view from the helm backwards to the port side. Probably more or less you would normally not stand there. It's a little bit front there before you're going down.
Yeah.
And then you're having this seating area, which is port side, which is something very Nimbus. We have it on the W11. We have it anyway on every coupe boat. That the co-driver has the same interest in the boat design. Like the co-driver gets the same attention but in the boat design as the driver, which many other brands they forget him to get more general social area. And the co-driver is very often the women, the most important part of the family. And if she's not enjoying the ride, what is it then about to travel?
Exactly.
So it's very important that this area is as cozy as it can be. And it's like an L sofa shape, and there will be also air condition outlets there. There will be there is a small storage there, and then we have also this multifunctional display there where even the co-driver can follow and support the driver with finding the correct route, or all the boat has it's in pier bus system. So every lights can be controlled like in a modern house. You have the possibility of this multifunctional displays to control everything what you want to do from the helm. And then what we see here is the very positive effect this negative front window screen has. There was a lot, we discussed it quite much at that point. I find another picture. I really like it. It really gives this salon a certain depth, and it's not just so much blocked with the front screen.
And also the fact that we can open up the window and the roof on this one, so we really get
it's
it
also on
boat.
this picture we see it slightly, so we have a sliding electrical roof, so we can open this flybridge boat as it would be a coupe boat.
Yeah, exactly. So other than that, it was also interesting to see the aft window in the very back, which is also something new. We have done that before.
I will we have it here. We have it even as a video. So here. So what is happening there now? That's the back window, and it's opening into the roof. Huh? So what is the idea behind that?
But it's just to in Sweden we have this cold weather all the time. So many houses now they build this extra outdoor room, which is with window. And it's much easier to have the feeling that you are floating from inside to outside, and the sound will be sound improvement because of the window.
It's a barrier.
So it will add an extra room in another way than before.
And you can stop it also half, as I understood.
Just
so you can
for
still
ventilation.
Have the ventilation. Yes. I see it also. Now it's stopped. I see an advantage also of no spray getting into the boat, so no backwash and so on.
Exactly.
So the boat will be much drier from humidity point of view when you go long distances as you would have, and it's easier to clean and a nicer view. Even if you have it closed and you're going to look out, it's much nicer than looking through a canopy where you always have some.
Exactly.
It's never nice.
The vision will be much better improved by far, but then also you can use the shade. So you can, if you have this sun coming down, you can use the shade to.
What I was the most afraid of is because I know how much this is tricky to make a center cabin big enough that people will love staying in there. But on the other hand, you don't want to do what 80% of your colleagues do in other brands, just lift the salon level so much up that it will become a good central cabin where you say, you know, you have room like in a normal room in a house, or like in this room here, which is nearly impossible because everything builds on top of that, and then it builds on top the flybridge, and suddenly you're on a height where the boat is not really seaworthy anymore, and you're compromising on something which Nimbus would never do, lucky-wise, is on the seaworthiness on the boat, on the comfort of driving.
Exactly.
And I think I'm you know the architect there, but every 5-10 centimeters have an effect on this. So people must understand that you are running always into a compromise in between room, especially height, volume, and seaworthiness.
Yeah, and I think it's still really nice to step in, because when you step in, you have the really good headroom.
Yes.
So you don't feel like, you know, like you're squeezed in. But
no, it's huge. So the only part where we can see that here, this is all like like Tom can stand here. He's over 190. It becomes a bit lower here to the starboard side, but you also want some coziness, because here we have this kind of bed situation, couch situation, where you want a little bit lower ceiling or ceiling, because it feels more cozy.
Yeah, and I think like that it will be very important for you, like Patrick, to explain for the customer why it looked the way it looked, that there are the reason it looked like it looked. So and that will help a lot.
Yeah, we're seeing here this nice material you've chosen. It's popper, so the color is like, we probably showed, I find a picture later, we've seen a little bit more of that material, but it's, here we have the door, so it's a little bit in the direction of oak.
Yeah, it's an oak look, you can say.
Oak look,
yeah.
But explain me again why you choosing popper.
No, it's just that it's, you know, you have the same appearance every time. It's very easy to buy it, because
it's more environmental friendly, because it's growing in plantage, or how you say, it's fast regrowing wood. Because you looked and said, you know, we all know that driving a 15-meter boat is not absolutely environmental friendly. No. Still, you looked in many details in the boat, where can we reduce the environmental impact on a way where it doesn't have much impact on the customer, but it has an impact still on what you do.
We also need to learn this process, that if you choose between two things, we should always choose the one that is more environment friendly. So if you have that in your mind all the time,
there's already a big change there.
Yeah.
Let's continue with some of these pictures. So this is the entrance. So we are going from, like, when we're entering the main midship cabin, then we can go straight, and then we're going into the owner's bathroom or owner's head.
Yeah.
Really nice. What I really like is, and the owners or the buyers really like, is this Korean you've chosen there, which is a little bit like a marmor look, but not so strong as marmor. It really is a nice detail. But then many other details which you always been good in is like indirect lighting. It's everywhere. We have enough light coming from the outside in. We have the big storage up here, and then also again textile here on the wall to make it a little bit more cozy.
Yeah.
And this is now, we just turned around on 90 degrees looking forward. This is the owner's bathroom shower, also very modern. We don't have this, what is it, the sink? No, the drain plug.
Yeah.
So we have like hidden draining below here. I really like that, similar at home, but also here then the whole module from the shower. And then what is, I thought not many boats have that yet, so we have a rain shower integrated into the ceiling again. I love that. You know, I'm probably one of my weakest part is my father always, when I was, in this age where you really want to push it, I was putting myself a chair into the shower just to make my father really angry, to really get all the hot water out of the house.
And the most comfy chair.
Because I really like a place I really like is, a good warm shower is something I love, and that's
we should add a share into
the Patrick model.
Yeah, the Patrick model.
Oh, that's nice. But we have also light coming all in here, and then you have a quite interesting, and it works. I've seen it in the gym. So this wall here is a more or less transparent wall.
Semi-transparent, yeah.
Semi-transparent, semi-transparent. So it brings the light from the next shower room into this shower. So it's not a wall where the room ends.
No.
So it's more or less an indirect lightning coming through the other shower in there. So we just go jumping a little bit. This is the owner's cabin. Huge storage there. Now, first time I've seen in place the curtains being put down. Huge space below the bed, big drawers, and also another place in front. And also here you see everywhere the effort you put into indirect lighting, even this lightning stripe, which now looks a little bit weird, but just because it's just lifted up, so it's an automatic lifting thing. Then we have, there was a customer before 5. I don't think he understood that we're live. So and then we have nice storage. So you also choose a little bit of other material at certain furnitures, which is like, I know from a side mat, it's a little bit like a kitchen, modern kitchen design, painting, varnish. So it's a little bit play, and then I like really this one here. So we have a recess here to store things that don't in waves that don't fall down, but it really looks nice. And it's a textile again put on top of the furniture, because otherwise you would scratch stuff lying there at sea. So there's all this thinking. You need to have been, as you, many hours at sea to understand that a varnished or painted surface on top will not work, because it will be scratched, because people will not move everything away, and then something falls down, and then this is like going to be a nightmare. Then this is the starboard guest cabin, which is to be used as a guest cabin. Here we have a bunk bed, loads of storage as well, 2 big cupboards, or you can have an office, which probably it's my idea of having that office in there, but so far nobody ordered it yet.
But the idea was good.
The idea was good, but none of my sale went with this, and I heard also the other interest was not so much. So people want to bring or want to have this possibility to bring grandchildren. This family who bought the first boat, I think they're having 6 grandchildren so far, 5 or 6. So she was already, counting if they all come, very favorite place is also this couch next to the owner's bed.
I would choose that one when I was going to bed. I like that a lot.
So there was going to be a discussion about which one to choose. So this is the guest toilet room with a separate shower as well, which is just across of the 3rd cabin or on the way to the VIP cabin in the front. Also here, same with the Korean, looks really nice, and also loads of indirect light, and again also storage behind the mirror, hooks everywhere, so very Nimbus done. Also a rain shower again. That's the same toilet room again. This is very nice, really nice. So we see this huge glass panorama with the negative window. We're having 5 wipers, I think, installed on the top, 2 on each side, and then 3 to the front. Big wipers, window wash, hidden wipers like we know on the coupe boats. And then we're having at this boat here 2 16-inch chart plotters from Volvo Penta installed. Explain me a little bit about this helm, because there loads of, I think, energy went from your side into designing that.
But because you always want to improve every time, and I think we're quite comfortable with the ones we have today in the coupes. But we wanted to do something more, and it's to simplify it even more. Take away buttons or things that you don't need to use, and it helps a lot when you have this steering wheel with the functionality in the buttons in there.
You even have the window wash in tabs, which are quite nice, because you being at sea in the Med on a bad day, you use your wiper very often, but it will never be, the interval will not be right. It will not be right to have it run constantly, because you always want like a little bit of fresh water to just take the dried spray off again. And you have the same probably in Göteborg.
And since we're using the IPS, the joystick is really important also, so we have put that close to the steering wheel. instead of vice versa. That's normally the case. But since that is such a clever joystick, that is placed there because it's you will use that a lot.
Yeah, we have the assistant docking as standard. No, as option. No, sorry, it's stop. It was in the beginning as it is option, which is to explain to people. So you have the joystick in a normal use, but then you can, with the assistant docking on top, I compare it like flying a drone. I don't know whoever did this, but if the drone would not stop when you put the throttles in neutral, it would not do what it would still hover. Then we all I couldn't fly a drone at all. And this is the same on the boat. It always drifts still when you lose the joystick, but this assistant docking, then this drifting stops, which makes, and also the turning of the boat stops, so that makes the use of the boat much more or much easier than before. And then you have air conditioned outlets, charging, and this is the multifunction. This is these pedals for the window wash, and like a
hidden storage,
hidden storage there. This is the walk downwards.
Yeah, before we leave that picture, I said that while standing behind that wheel, it's really yacht-like feeling on a 465-foot boat. It's an amazing feeling actually.
And as you have the side door behind you, which is like the size of a 4 or 5 back door.
Yeah, you can really meet two big guys like me in that side door without cramping, and you can step
even
in behind the driver's seat, which is.
So directly going out.
It's an immensely good feeling behind that wheel.
And still, what is also very often not the case, you can stand at the helm. Yeah. So very many flybridge boats, especially because what we said before, to get more room in the center cabin and the master cabin, they take away the floor space, the foot space, put the driver more or less below below the roof. To not getting the boat too high, but then you're sitting on a boat, squeezed on the helm, and then what you need to do is then going on the flybridge to drive the boat always from there, which I think many shipyards say, the flybridge boat you're anyway going to use from the flybridge, but this is not what we are aiming for at all, because you can use it inside with opening, side door. So this boat you will be using a lot also from the lower helm, and this is all designed for that.
Yes.
Visibility and space for standing or sitting comfortable.
Yeah.
And the chair's even suspended a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, and the footrest. Yeah, I think so also.
We are talking about developing that further, so that's why I can't say.
Okay, no worries. Yeah. Then we're having the walkway down, like the staircase, with the oak flooring in a greyish color. This is again the front cabin where we saw before the bed up. Now is the bed down. So the VIP cabin not being seen now because they're testing the curtains. It's huge windows in there, and probably in some point I would even choose that as my cabin. I really like to lie in the front cabin. You have more ventilation areas. It's like it's a feeling thing, but this is definitely a VIP cabin. Which
with high comfort,
with high comfort, loads of space. So it's very little behind the master cabin. This is now the platform up. Nice rubber list around. This rubber list also be optional for the boat in general, but it doesn't look that the boat needs it so much. Even I asked for it, or the owners buying the boats asked for it. They cancelled that option again because when they looked at the boat, they just said it's so high, we don't need a rubber list anymore. No. So it loses its function from a certain size.
It's a big boat, yes. So
it's a very big boat, showing it parallel to the 405, for example. So there's for sure the rubber list around the lifting platform, which is for sure an option. Here this is also an option. This is the wet bar. Otherwise, you're going to have a big storage there. Yeah. This is again the helm from a little bit more distance. What I like in the helm, it's because it's part of the salon. Or the main cabin, it's still not dominant.
Oh no! It's
what you don't want is like that you go into a boat and it's your living room, and the living room was more or less destroyed by this very masculine-looking helm.
It's compact, but have all the functionality. So it's still a good place for driving the boat, but it's a compact dashboard.
There we're seeing now the boat with the handrail installed. This is the foredeck. We're also having this
wooden rail, yeah.
wooden rail below. This is the, I don't know in English, this Kluse in German.
Yeah.
So where you put this is like big boat stuff, yeah. So
Yeah.
you bring the ropes out with big rollers, all in stainless steel done. Then we're having, as we said, it's even more wipers. So we're having 4 in front and then 1 each side. So it's 6 wipers in the sum. Here we're having the Ecotique, which is the we'll say more environmental friendly flooring, like a VBC. This is the starboard side. This I really like, this when you're standing in the kitchen, how you can look out, big side door. Here we see it from the whole silhouette now. It's a big boat, huh? So it's yeah, very impressive. Michael, you're filming us. You have been with us the first time when we were there with the customer, and it's also for you an emotional thing, to see this thing.
I had really, not joking, I had goosebumps when seeing the footage you did at this level of
having this boat ready.
Yeah.
It is really, it has some parts from a trawler direction,
Yeah.
but not a too modern trawler or not too old-fashioned. So it brings many design elements from many different boat directions together, plus added something which was probably not there before, and it's a very unique boat. I think there's hardly nothing like this at all which we could call at the moment competitors. Do you see anything? We should not talk about this now, but it's very unique.
No, but it's the Nimbus way. It has this own history. Why it looked the way it looked. It's so.
I'll just go back if I missed anything. So I also did a full walkthrough video. Not that this start was a little bit earlier when I was there in December. These pictures are now from January. So we will. Oh no, salon. Yeah, this was still the master cabin. So this is the kitchen facing like we're looking starboard backwards. So we're having a huge kitchen. One part of the kitchen is starboard side. The second part, the smaller part with a big fridge, is on port side. And we are opening differently to every boat before, where we had the kitchen on the side. We are now facing the kitchen backwards, and we're having like a bar situation here, and we can electrically bring down the big window here, so the kitchen is then opening to the back. And this is very nice, as I said before. This now the curtains are here, but this glass going around the corner gives a very nice feeling standing in the kitchen.
And I think also now when you use the aft window, this would probably be a very normal user case. Like you use this.
Then it stays open, and then it's good that you have the back window again.
So you extend the saloon a lot with that.
But what I think is interesting is, by following the project, when you first look at your drawings, Joachim, and the drawings from the team, the sketches, the renderings, and then you even walked with these 3D goggles inside the boat, and then coming into the real product and see how well that correspond, the optics of the boat, how well it sits together, the balance of the design, the proportions. It's really a piece of art, I must say. It's fantastic.
Very proud.
Yeah, I'm very proud of this one.
I can just 3-4 more pictures, and so this is again this kitchen from the outside. It looks a bit narrow here. It's probably the perspective, but it's quite a big area there in the back. We have a little bit an asymmetric deck design, so we have a deep sidewalk all the way until the starboard side door, and then we're having some steps going up, still wide. On port side, we are still having a very wide, I would say still 4 or 5 starboard level sidewalk, but a bit up. This is also this asymmetric deck design you've always been doing on the coupe boats, which really helps then to gain some more room on the side into the master cabin, to not compromising the other things we've been talking about before. And then we have nice staircase going up to the flybridge, like integrated into the glass fiber part going up. This is also big boat style, you know, this Kluse also in the back, big cleats, and the winch optional, and also the possibility going from the bathing platform directly up to the port sidewalk. This is a typical way. If you would put fenders, you don't want to go inside through the seating area where the table is put up. So this is also something you've been doing already on the 305. So this is also typical jeans. This, you can see here this walkway port side up again. Then big storage here in the back for any water toys or other life raft, for example. And if somebody wants to use a grill, it would not be so nice to use it inside, and then you can fold this out, similar a little bit like from the idea you have on the Nimbus T9.
Yep.
So you just fold it in and the wet bar is gone.
And that seating area there where you have on the back on the swim platform, after your morning swim with a cup of coffee in your hand, that's the best spot. Best spot on the boat, actually.
That's very important. Sometimes
I like that.
sometimes platforms are just flat, but you need these storage height like this one here, even to have it's on the same time. It's a seating beside the storage functionality it has.
Yeah,
this is again the front deck. You were testing already, I think, the sun cushions there. And this is the covers over the sun cushion, and this doors looking like doors here. This is big storage on each side, which you fold up to store fenders or ropes or whatever you want to store on the front deck, or maybe these covers or the table even, or these covers when you have taken them off.
And the good thing is that you don't need to take the cushions off.
Yes,
they follow it. It makes it so much easier.
This is again the platform even being down. So this is the way then an owner of a 465 enters the Mediterranean water for a swim. So very comfortable staircase going down, and for sure it's the platform which brings up a dinghy up to, I think, like reasonable up to 3.1 meter. Frederick measured it, that you still can pass the gangway, which is not installed on this boat yet. So the gangway would be in this staircase, in this area here, coming out. So still, if you want to pass this gangway with the dinghy, a 3.10 meter dinghy is easily mountable. Good. Yeah, as I said, there will be a video being launched now, which is a bit before that stage of the boat now, where I'm doing a full walkthrough. Keep in mind, this is a video out of a production. This is a sneaked video, so it's not, for me it's very emotional, probably for you the same, but it's not as emotional as we would do now, like a video in the Göteborg archipelago or somewhere in Stockholm, a family using that boat. This is a different type of video. This is then a image, a branding video. Here it's more about information, getting a feeling what to expect when the boat is ready, in the hope that because that's I'm a sales guy in the end, yeah. So my hope is even to sell some more of these boats. The first two are going to Mallorca to German customers. We are very far with a French customer as well for the Côte d'Azur. So I'm doing this in the end to support my colleagues, because in Nimbus we are a big family of dealers. We're having a very good working together since many years. So I hope my colleagues can sell some of the 465 and I can support them with this video as well. But for sure, in the end, I also want to sell some more boats. That's why I'm putting the energy also into this project with you, with the trust you're putting into me, or especially into my company, Boote Polch, with also loads of feedback you take in, because I'm not the easiest guy sometimes when it comes to opinions and criticism, and so I'm sometimes probably for some people inside of Nimbus some stress, but I'm really thankful how we work together, and the result here on the 465 makes me and for especially also my team very proud, and I thank you very much for putting you and your team, especially Joachim, to put so much effort, because in the end you are my fundament for having a successful business. Because when you guys run the wrong track, then it's going to be very difficult for me to sell it, because I love selling what I like. This makes my job much easier, much more enjoyable for everybody who is participating in this.
But your input has been very important, I must say. I mean, we need to listen to you guys, who are the dealer who meets the end customer and see. So it's always goes both way, and then that's how it is.
Cool. We don't have any questions.
Just one remark. Just stunning. Looking forward to see it in the water.
So do we.
So do we.
Yeah, so do we.
and use it and drive it. And good. Then thanks a lot, Jonas.
Yeah,
And
thank
thank
you.
you,
Thank you.
Joachim.
Thank you.
And yeah, let's see you at sea on the 465 the next time.
Yeah.
As soon as possible, yes.